Hi, this is Samia from Henna Fixation with your dose of Henna Fix, and today we're going to be breaking symmetry. Now, we've all been there where we have the inspiration flowing and we have designs from Pinterest or Instagram or wherever from our favorite artists, and we want to do a mandala, right? You've been there, we've all been there. We want to do a mandala because they look so fabulous. I have seen them everywhere recently, on cell phone cases, on laptop cases, on notebooks. They are absolutely all over the place, and I love them. And I have not met a single person who is averse to mandalas. They're just pleasing, and I think their symmetry is what makes them pleasing, but they're really not that easy to do. 30 seconds into that design and you're like, dude, what's going on? Something is not right. This looks really wonky. No worries, today I'm going to help you figure that out. Today I'm here to tell you the baby steps you need to make sure that your mandalas are looking perfectly beautiful every single time, wherever you want them, however you want them, however detailed you want them, or however simple you want them. The baby steps are always going to be the same. What changes is your creativity. So some great examples of things to grab would be a piece of paper, just a regular piece of paper, acrylic hand, or an acrylic practice board. I will be using an acrylic hand, and I think they're awesome. You can just use henna on it and just wipe it off and you're good to go. So if you can get your hands on them, I recommend that you would. Your own body, you can do henna on yourself. You can do it on your thighs, on your hand, or anywhere you like, and I do that all the time. It's kind of an addiction, so I do henna a lot of the places where normally people don't see. Or you can grab a friend. As long as that friend is okay with you practicing on them, it doesn't matter. It's just fun. You can grab your younger brother or sister, because you know that's what they're there for, really. But just don't grab your pets. That will not be a very good idea. For the tool itself, you can grab a fresh henna cone or an old one. I like to practice with old cones. Or you can use a lotion in a cone, just like a round, you have an empty cone, pump it up with some lotion, seal it, and that will be good to go. It gives you the same consistency and the feel of henna. That is, if you don't want to waste your henna, if that's how you roll, that's totally your thing. That's my cat. Or you can get a pen, pencil, writing utensils, whatever works for you, because what you want to do right now is train yourself with the tricks, and anything you do is going to help out. Now, I always begin with the center. In the beginning, I had a difficult time because sometimes the design would become too big, or sometimes the design would be too small. So I had difficulty with that, and I figured out that as long as I maintained the center to be just how I want it to be, that sets the tone for the rest of the design. So the center is crucial, in my opinion. If you want a bigger mandala because you're doing a bigger part on the body, then you want the centerpiece to be a little bit bigger. That might mean making the dot a little bit thicker or adding more layers to the dot. So I think this is an appropriate dot or a center space to start off my mandala with. But now here comes the trick, and this can be annoying and time consuming, but the more you do it, the more you will train your eye and the less you will need to do it in the future, right? So make dots, as many dots as you need. Follow the clock and start with 12 o'clock here. So 12, 3, 6, 9. Okay, so we can make a circle here, and that would be enough for me, right? So if that was enough, because this is a pretty small circle, you just make a circle around it, just like that, and then you can just smoothen the edge out. Okay, all right, and then now you want to make a bigger circle, right? So start off again. You can make it this way. You can make it going around the clock like I showed you earlier, or go up, down, left to right, just like a compass would do. The circle here is getting bigger, and if this is not enough, then I'm gonna make more dots. I'm gonna try to make as many dots as I need to make sure that I have a good circle. Over here, this is pretty good for me. If I wanted to add more, I can just keep adding more. The good thing about dots is if you mess up, you can just wipe it and fix it, right? So you see, I'm just filling them in and I'm pretty okay with this shape, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this circle You see, I'm just following the dots. Did it take more time? Yes, it did take more time. But trust me, the more you do this, the less dots you're going to have to make. I actually don't make any dots myself because I don't have to anymore. But in the beginning, I think I did need some guidelines, and you always need some guidelines. Now it's time to add the elements. How you place your elements will determine if the mandala is pleasing and symmetrical or whether it feels like something isn't right. Okay, now first I'm going to lay my foundation with like little bumps. And then I'm just going to make it pretty here. Because I just not only want lines in the mandala, I want some different kind of designs in here. This old cone is so fantastic. Look at how it's flowing. It's great. I don't even know how old this cone is, but it's perfect. Okay. So now that I have laid the foundation with my little bumps, I'm going to make the elements. Now it is very important to make sure that the elements are lined up properly. So I'm going to start off again, and I'm going to make the dots there because I will start my foundation with the dots. So there, 12, 6, 3, and 9. I'm always going to make sure that they're lined up this way. If I am doing a hand, let me just move and show you on this hand here. If I'm making a mandala right here, right, and I'm this way, I'm making a mandala here, I'm going to make sure that my dots are always here in these locations, so they're always lining up with the middle finger if this is the back of the hand. Front of the hand is a little bit different. You need to line them up a little bit here, so that's the front of the hand. But the back of the hand is most common, so I will talk about that. You want to make sure that you're always lining up, and if you're doing it up, you know, arm here, look at where the center of the arm is and line up the whole thing. Line up the whole thing. Okay, coming back to here. Now, I am doing this, and I'm just going to finish my elements here, right? Let's pretend that I'm just going to add more of the half circles. So I'm maintaining the same position. I'm going the same way. And if I see, you know, there's a little bit of a size difference, I'm just going to fix that right now. It's like this. So I'm going one element at a time to ensure that everything stays symmetrical and that everything stays the same. There you go. And just whatever element you were thinking of, you can just add it on as long as you're following the clock. You should be pretty okay. Now, I did not finish one element and then move on to the next one. I'm going to do little bits of pieces, and I'm going to do them like an assembly line. And I will not move, you know, finish the design until all of the assembly line is already done. I will maintain the same position for the rest of the design. Should I want to add something in between those elements, I will add them, always keeping the clockwise movement that I mentioned earlier. So let's say that I want to add some connecting elements here, this way, following the assembly line motion. So again, do not finish off the element, just draw it. One thing at a time. And this is the trick to make sure that the design is symmetrical while looking pleasing. Again, it will take slightly longer if you've never done this before, but it is the key to train your eye. You want to train your eye, you want to practice so that you can become better each time. And if you're having trouble with symmetry, then the way to do it is to guide yourself into the perfect symmetry. And dots is a way to guide yourself towards it. Now, I want to give you some bonus tricks to make your mandala stand out and make them yours and make them interesting. Number one is to maintain a theme. Use the same elements around 2 to 3 times. It keeps everything balanced and interesting without looking too busy. So I have lines and then I have bumps, right? This is the common theme that I have going on in this specific symmetrical mandala. Then you add line variations. So I have made some thicker thin lines here, right? I made these lines a little bit thicker. That keeps your interest going. You know, it keeps your eyes moving, because if everything is monochromatic, it's just gonna look the same. Then, you know, okay, it's a great design, but then it gets lost. But if you add a little bit more detail, you know, make one line thicker, the other line thinner, and you can just choose whichever one you like. Of course, a great place to start is varying them. So thick line and then thin line and then thick line, thin line. This is what you do. And then you want to draw the main elements first. So I drew this, main elements. Now I have already drawn them and now I can embellish them. I don't want to embellish them in the beginning. So whatever if I'm planning on doing, I'm not going to embellish them. Draw the lines and the major elements you want first, and then all the extras, sparkles and flou-flous, whatever you want to call it, they come later. Kind of like baking a cake, when you decorate a cake, you layer the cake and then you put this icing and then the sprinkles. But if you put the sprinkles first and then the icing, kind of loses purpose and the sprinkles get lost. And who wants to lose the sprinkles? This is it. I hope this helped you as much as it helped me when I was starting off in my henna journey. And if you like this video, then please share it, subscribe it, like it, and let me know what it is that you liked, and let me know what kind of things you want to see in the future. And do share it with your friends who want to learn more about henna so they can benefit as well. And this is the main purpose of this channel, that people can become better and know more and just enhance your overall experience of henna artistry. And thank you very much for watching Henna Fixation. Henna on.